Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Motive Racing YouTube channel. We are back here tonight for the all-important title decider here for the Touring Car Championship here for Season 15 on Project Cars 2. And I say title decider, it's all but done in favour of John Boy. Our three-time champion of the Touring Car division has the opportunity here tonight to make it 4 championships. He has a commanding lead in the standings after the drop rounds. We're going to get into that in just a second. But yeah, it's looking extremely likely that John Boy is going to be doing it here tonight because his gap to Cobb is 54 points after drop rounds coming into tonight. And Jay's a further 4 points behind him, 58 points off of the championship of John Boy. So it's, yeah, it would take something special for either of those two, and it would take a capitulation from John Boy as well. I've worked it out already. He could theoretically wrap it up with 3 8th place finishes here tonight, so he could have the worst round of his whole season and still wrap the championship up. So pretty much it is almost a done deal, but it's not mathematically impossible for the other two to catch him. So you know, we could still see some twist in the tail, but it's long odds. I'd say it's long odds. If you're a betting person, then maybe put a quid on Cobb or Jay. You might get a bit of a return, but yeah, don't put all your eggs into it, for God's sake. But here we are then, guys. Donington Park on the GP, it's the loop as well. A lot of the time we've done the national circuit here for the touring cars, but tonight we're doing the full shebang, the same track that they raced the F1 in back in the 90s for the European Grand Prix. And it's, to be fair, I've always liked the national, but the loop to me is a little bit of I don't know, it feels like it's just there for the sake of it. For the track to become an F1 circuit, to me anyway, but I always like the national circuit, that last chicane, the way it sort of dinks into the straight. I've always liked that kind of track, but hey, you know, the loop's got its merits, and that's where we are tonight anyway, and it should be exciting. Obviously you've got the Foggy S's and the Melbourne Hairpin. They're going to throw up some interesting action here, so that's going to be what we've got here tonight. As I'm just quickly going to try and, well, share the stream on YouTube if we can. But I'm just trying to do that now. At the moment it's just coming up as a broken link. Ah, there we go. Alright, that's it. The stream is now shared and we are now officially live and underway here. So welcome along to everybody currently tuning in live on the Motive Racing YouTube channel. For this final round of the season, as I said before, this is where the championship's going to be decided. It might not be in this first race, although it could be in the first race, and I'm quickly going to get into that in a second. Whoa, 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 hold on, that's not what we were looking for. Whoa, what's going on there? Hold on. That's not the right link, come on. What's going on with my brain? Where's my brain? Do apologise for this, everybody. We're just getting things sorted out. I don't actually know what was the reason that caused me to do that. If I'm perfectly honest, I'm a bit confused as to what created that action to be done. Oh, I've got to put on the YouTube. Oh, I've got to put whether it's for kids or not. This video. Okay, that's the reason why the link is broken, because I have to specify whether or not the this video is aimed towards children or whether it's not. But yeah, sorry about that. So now, I think it's letting me share the stream, is it? Come on. Is it letting me share the stream now? Can I share it, YouTube? Please, let me share the stream. Come on. Let me share the stream. Come on. Please. No, why is it still broken? Okay, now I'm getting a bit wound up. Now I'm getting a little bit wound up. I'm starting to get a little bit angry now. Now I'm getting a little bit wound up. Also, why is my wrong-end mic plugged in as well? Well, I'm glad that I heard that, because now I know that the wrong mic is plugged in. But everything seems to just be a bit disjointed and a bit broken here tonight. There we go. Right, that is the Donington stream. There we go. Right. Not going to talk too much here because obviously the wrong mic's plugged in, and I sound like I'm talking through a tin can. I don't actually know why, because my studio mic is plugged in, but it's just not working at the moment. So let me just sort that out now. Here we go. Right, that's the voice you all want to hear, I assume. So here we are then, for this final round of the season. This is it. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. After 13 rounds coming up tonight, 39 races, 42 race season altogether. The last 3 are all tonight, and it is John Boy who leads this championship after drop rounds. Obviously, the drop rounds are frozen after last week, so whatever we do tonight, you cannot drop this final round of the season. But with their 2 worst rounds taken off from the first 13 rounds of this season, the championship standings looking like this for the championship contenders. John Boy drops 68 points from 972 and sits on 904 points. Cobb sits in second in the standings, drops 60 points from 908, sits on 848, and Jay is in third in the standings, drops 118 from 962 and sits on 844. So that's John Boy 904, Cobb 848, and Jay 844. So obviously John Boy's got that big lead in the standings coming into tonight. 56 points he's got over Cobb coming into this one. It's going to be an interesting battle for second in the championship as well between Cobb and Jay, but I reckon it's going to be John Boy. More than likely he's going to wrap it up, I would say, in the second race tonight. I reckon that Cobb might just keep him in touch after this first race, because obviously there will still be 68 points on the table after this first race. John Boy would have to outscore Cobb, would have to finish 5 positions ahead of him to wrap up the championship before we get into the second race. But I reckon it could be John Boy's potentially to wrap up going into the final race. So yeah, it could wrap it up in the middle race here tonight, which is also the race where Mike wrapped up the GT4 championship on Tuesday night as well. Mike and John Boy did actually go into that one both with a chance of winning that title, but Mike did actually become an 8-time champion here at Motive on Project Cars 2 on Tuesday night, having sealed the GT4s. And I want to say a big congratulations to him, because obviously we weren't on Tuesday, we weren't able to stream it because of some I had to essentially I had an obligation to fulfill, so I wasn't able to do that. But yeah, well done to Mike, and that was obviously his 5th title on a Tuesday night, because he's won the Clio Cup 4 times, albeit actually some of those were on a Monday night. But yeah, he's won the Clio Cup 4 times. He's won the touring cars here 3 times. Not this season, he's not going to win it because he hasn't been able to turn up to every round. But yeah, he's won the Clio Cup, the touring cars, and obviously now the GT4s as well. So technically a winner in 3 different categories here at Motive Racing on Project Cars 2, which is pretty impressive. Got a like by saying, hey Andy, long time no chat, how's life, brother? Good, it's very good, thank you. Good to see you, Lightblade, as always. Yeah, it's been a while. Mike's a bit loud, can't really hear the boys racing. Let me just adjust the audio mix a little bit in the party so that you can hear that a little bit more clearly. Should sort it out. I know it's quite biased towards the party chat. Let me know how that is. Let me know if that's a bit better now. You should be able to hear the cars a little bit more clearly. I think it might still be quite loud on my side, but should be a little bit better. And we've got Freddie in the comments. Hey Andy, how we doing? Hey Freddie, good to see you, mate. Yeah, I'm doing alright, thanks. Hopefully you're the same. As we see Team MW going over the line there, moving up into P3. Obviously this is only a practice session here tonight for the first race. This is has no bearing on the grid order. The grid orders will only be set by the times in the second session, which is a qualifying, but the first and third races are both practice sessions. First race is a reverse grid based on the championship standings, and the final race is a reverse grid based on the results from race 2. So it kind of just gives the guys who have struggled on the night and the guys who have struggled over the course of the season a chance to maybe steal the march and get an opportunity for a win. It puts the onus on the championship contenders and the guys who are used to being at the top. It puts them under a bit of pressure to deliver. As you see Mike going into P3 there in this session so far. Cobb and Jay currently the top 2 in this session at the moment. The championship leader, the favourite for this title here tonight, John Boy, currently in the pits, having set a time which is a second off of the pace. They've all got their handicaps in, they've all got their fuel loads in, and it's going to be a bit of a change up for next season with the fuel loads. The drivers are not going to have to, well, depending on what car they choose, the Megane and the BMW drivers will have to run the full ballast, but those who go for the Astra or the Mercedes
will actually get to carry a lot less fuel. They'll get to carry half of what the McGann and the BMW drivers will carry, even if their championship position is high. So obviously, if you're leading the championship and you drive a McGann or a BMW, then you've got to carry 100 litres. But if you're driving an Astra or a Merc and you happen to have somehow propelled yourself into the championship lead, you only have to carry 50 litres. It's a bit of an incentive for drivers to drive those cars, because they are pretty chronically underrepresented in terms of this touring car championship here at Motive. It's not very common that you see anybody pick those two cars. It's McGann dominated, and then sometimes you get a BMW. A driver like Mike, who's driven the BMW in the past, albeit right now he's in the Astra, but you see drivers like Mike who jump in the BMW and they're able to go the same pace as the McGann drivers. It's not as easy to drive as the McGann, but if you can get to grips with it, it's just as quick. We got Cosmic Crusader there saying, "Yo, hello, welcome along." Light basis, not really, to be honest. Car's still quite low. I'll just sit a little bit more, but I can't really go too much further than what it already is. Because I can't, there's not really much more room to move it further. Right, it's now all the way to the left. It's now fully towards the game, so hopefully you can hear the cars a little bit more now. But that is the free practice results here from this opening race of the night. So it's Cobb J, Revolt Detailer and Mike, your fastest four in that session. Now we're going to have a reverse grid based on the championship standings, and the guys all know what their positions are going to be. Andy C says hi. Andy C. Funny that, because I'm also an Andy C. Andy Cottrell there. Big Blue. Obviously, Big Blue will be, I can't remember where he's lining up on the grid, but when he lines up near the front, he's always a contender for the race win. And yeah, so he's obviously racing out on track, but he's also chiming in here on the stream here tonight. Obviously, best of luck to you, Big Blue. Hopefully you can have a good race out here. I know it's a track that he likes as well, Donington. I think earlier in the season we were racing the touring cars here at this track. Obviously we raced on the national circuit earlier in the season, and I think he took a win at this circuit. So he's obviously a fan of Donington, but can he use those skills on the longer configuration here tonight? That's going to be the question. But surely it's going to be a big opportunity for him if he's got a good grip position. I don't know whether Emma put him at the front or at the back, because actually he'd be at the front or near the front, because his championship position is not very representative of his pace, because he's quite an inconsistent driver and he's not always here either. So that can be one thing. He's got a lot of pace as Big Blue, but quite often, things will happen in the races. He's one of the quickest drivers in the grid, but yeah, it's somehow, for some reason, his championship standing never reflects it. But nonetheless, we're about to go for this first race of the night here for the final round of the season. I will keep us updated, obviously, on the championship as we're going along, kind of keep things in the loop. But for those who aren't aware, the championship is on the line, and it's John Boy currently leading by a very, very decisive margin, and it's looking for all the marbles like he is going to wrap it up here tonight. Well, obviously it's going to be decided one way or the other tonight, because it's the final round. But we're putting off the line and we're getting going for this formation lap, and so it will be, I believe, Revolt Detailer leading us around, because he hasn't really been around this season. He's had to take this season off due to personal life commitments, but he is now back out on track, and it's great to see Revolt Detailer rejoining us. Obviously our former sponsor as well for the touring cars here at Motive, has his own detailing brand, revoltdetailer.com. Used to have I did actually make a little flyer for it, which we used to run back when I had streaming software. We used to be able to run a little flyer during the stream, so maybe this time a year ago I would have been able to say at this very moment, right, we're going to go to a quick advert for our sponsor, play that clip, bosh bosh bang, buy me a bit of time to get ready for the race. But can't do that anymore, because I'm currently streaming straight from the PlayStation to YouTube. So yeah, the PC that used to be able to run streaming software now largely incapable of doing basic work tasks, let alone streaming a race to YouTube. So unfortunately we're not really blessed with that option at this moment in time. But nonetheless, we are here on this formation lap, getting ready to go here for the first race. So Revolt Detailer will be lining up on pole with Potter Brown in second. Big Blue will be starting this one in third place. Out of Doris Deer, who will be P4. You've got Mike in fifth, which is really strange to see Mike in P5 on a reverse grid. But that's just been his season. He hasn't been here enough, really. That's just the long story short. 2MW P7 with Part Hooper in 8th, and you've got Craig in 9th ahead of Jay who'll start this one in P10, the lowest of the 3 championship contenders here tonight. Cobb in 11th, and the man who is almost certainly, but not 100%, but very likely going to take the championship here tonight, John Boy. And if he can do it, he will be a 4-time champion of the touring car division. But here we come then, coming up towards the final corner, Melbourne. And then we'll be officially underway for this first race of the night. Revolt Detailer doing plenty of warm-ups here, trying to get some warmth into his tyres and make sure he's ready to take this start, make sure he's well equipped to defend from the charging pack behind him here. Potter Brown in second, Big Blue in third, will be absolutely gunning, but you've also got to watch out because Mike, starting P5, is already all over the back of Doris Steer, coming down towards Redgates. But here we go, Revolt Detailer leading us as we've got Big Blue to the inside of Potter Brown, too far back. Mike already down the inside of Doris Steer, up into 4th place. That was predictably there what Mike was going to do. We could see that coming from a mile off, coming over the start-finish line. In the background, you've got Aussie Albie ahead of TMW, followed by Park Pooper with Craig ahead of Jay, and then Cobb and John Boy all packed into a short space here. Jay looking to the outside of Craig, coming down the Craner curves through in towards the old hairpin. Down the inside goes Jay. Craig trying to hold it around the outside. Jay just threading the needle there, taking the curve a little bit. Craig there keeping the momentum there around the outside for the time being, but it's Revolt Detailer leading, coming around the first half a lap here. Potter Brown there in second. Big Blue still running in third place. Bit of contact there between Mike and Big Blue as Mike looks to try and get the initiative early on here. As they come up the hill towards Coppice, it looks like Big Blue's going to hold on to that one for the time being as Mike was trying to put the pressure in as much as he could there. As we look in the background, there's Jay who's still stuck behind Craig at the moment with John Boy and Cobb hot on his heels at this point, but down towards the Foggy S as we go for the first time, and it's still Revolt Detailer who's got the lead by just under a second ahead of Potter Brown. There's Big Blue ahead of Mike with Doris Steer, Aussie Albie and TMW. You've got Park Hooper just clinging onto the back of that pack at the moment, and then the back 4 currently have dropped off of everybody else a little bit here on this opening lap, but down towards Melbourne we go here on the first racing lap. And is anybody close enough to send it here? It's a good overtaking spot as there's contact there between Big Blue and Mike. Mike just went a little bit late on the brakes and tagged him in the rear. No dramas though, all clean, all's fair at the moment. As Park Hooper here looking on the back of TMW as well, coming in towards the final corner. And John Boy here's down the inside of Jay. So John Boy's moved ahead of both of his championship rivals here, Jay and Cobb. And so John Boy's had an absolutely flying start to this race, but Jay's looking to try and come back at him here, coming down the start-finish straight. They're going to be side by side. This is the battle for P10, but let's not forget they're both in the championship fight here. Jay down the inside is going to try and put one on John Boy here, trying to get a bit of a mental edge here if he possibly can. Through Hollywoods we go. They're still side by side. John Boy trying to keep himself there around the outside, also keeping an eye on the battle for the lead because it's currently close between Revolt Detailer and Potter Brown. But John Boy here around the outside. Jay's going to throw it up the inside for the old hairpin. Just beautifully done there from Jay. Managed to keep some speed there on the inside, which is not easy to do, and keeps on to P10 by the skin of his teeth. Revolt Detailer still leading ahead of Potter Brown with Big Blue, Mike, Doris Steer, the top 5. That's Aussie going wide. Aussie really wide there. That would have lost him a bit of time there. In fact, no, it wasn't Aussie. No, I think it was. So Aussie's lost out to Craig, and now Park Hooper might be able to squeeze through as well, up into 8th place potentially. But Revolt Detailer still leading ahead of Potter Brown as Big Blue still defending from Mike. He's managed to keep him behind for a while now. Doris Steer keeping to the back of these, and then big gap back to the rest of them. Currently Team MW leading this pack of cars in the mid-pack, battling over, 6th place. You've got 7 cars in a line practically here. As they come down towards Melbourne, as we got John Boy swerving to the inside, trying to defend from Cobb. Jay looking on the back of Park Hooper, down the inside he goes, and that's Jay up into 9th place, and Park Hooper there gets it horribly wrong, and the 3 championship contenders all sail through past him. Park Hooper though at the inside of Cobb, it's going to be side by side down towards, no it's not, he backs out of it, so Park Hooper there tucking in behind, and Park Hooper's gone from 9th down to 12th place. What a disaster there for him. But currently 6 seconds covering all 12 drivers here as we come over the line to complete the second racing lap of this race. Into Redgates we go once again. Revolt Detailer still with the lead, but Potter Brown and Mike not too far away at all. You've got Big Blue, Doris Steer all over the back of him now as they come through Hollywoods for the 4th time here in this race. And it's been a dramatic opening couple of laps to this race. It's been exciting action. And we've got Senna in the comments there. Good evening, Andy. Welcome along, Senna. Hello, good evening. Senna, obviously one of our admins here, one of our coordinators for the F1 League. Drives the Ferrari in the F1 and was last season's runner-up in the championship as well on the EA Sports F1 game for Season 6. And currently always tunes in as well. Oh, Detailer's lost it. Oh, he's completely binned it there. He's got damage on the car as well. He's going to drop down the order like a stone. That gets Potter Brown the lead. And Mike is challenging on the back of him as well here. So Mike's actually found a way through ahead of Big Blue. So Mike now in 2nd place, looking to try and challenge for the win. It will be his first win in the Astra if he can get the win here tonight, as he's looking to the outside of Potter Brown. Potter Brown defending here, coming down towards the Foggy S's. Looking like he's got that one held onto at the moment. But wow, what a shame there, obviously, for Revolt Detailer, as he was led the opening couple of laps and was holding his ground really nicely. But it's all gone to pot here for him, as we can see. Mike, you can see outside of Potter Brown into Melbourne Hairpin. Oh, as Doris Day goes for a late lunge on Big Blue there. And I tell you what, that was a bit of Rubbings racing there. That was on the limit of being acceptable. I would say maybe just give that to him there, because that was an aggressive move, but I would say on the cusp of being fair. Big Blue there saw it coming, and in the end kind of gave him the space, kind of reluctantly, I think, conceded that one. But Jay on the back of Craig here as they come down the start finish straight. He's a little bit too far back just at the moment. Big Blue still challenging on the back of Doris Steer for this final podium place, as we see a bit of a lock up there from Doris Steer coming through the first corner. But Mike is challenging on the back of Potter Brown here. Look at this, they're coming through the crane of curves here. And he's looking really racy on the back of Potter Brown, is Mike at the moment. Doris Steer still holding on ahead of Big Blue at the moment. Team MW's joined the back of this packet, battling over the podium places. And there's the rest of them. Oh, Revolt Detailer there, losing it, coming out of the old hairpin onto the gravel there. He's dropped down to 12th place as the Park Pooper and Aussie have both got ahead of him there. So Revolt Detailer losing more ground to the leaders. It's Big Blue there having a big snap, but managed to hold on to it. And in the background here, looks like Craig's had a moment. Craig's had a big issue there, and it's gone onto the gravel, and he's now down to 9th place. So Craig is struggling here, and he's dropped down to 10th now behind Park Pooper, in fact behind Aussie as well. So down to 11th place there, Craig. Nightmare scenario for him there. Lots of drivers making mistakes here in the opening few laps of the race, but Potter Brown leads the race ahead of Mike with Doris Steer on the back of him. The top 5 currently separated by a second and a half, and Jay down the inside of John Boy. Jay's pulled a move on the championship leader there. Great move there from Jay, and Cobb's now looking to try and make a move as well. Cobb here down the inside into Melbourne. Cobb now looking on the back of Jay as Jay squeezing him to the edge of the track, and Cobb there was forced onto the grass. Did he make the move? No, he didn't. He has to think better at that one. Jay there giving him absolutely no space there on the inside, and Cobb just, I think, split-second decision there, thought about committing himself, but then thought better of it. Looks into towards the final corner, but Jay's got that one covered for the time being. John Boy's still waiting in the wings behind these guys at the moment. What a great fight this is for 6th place. But Potter Brown still ahead of Mike here as they come down towards Radgates here for the 6th time in the race. You've got Doris Steer, Big Blue, TMW is in the background. There's still a battle going on here as Cobb has got John Boy looking to his outside, but John Boy has to tuck in. Is he going to go for a cutback? Oh, he's done that beautifully there as John Boy. Absolutely lovely move. And John Boy there, he's done that cutback so many times. We've seen it over the seasons here at Motive. He executes it to perfection, and John Boy into 7th place there ahead of Cobb. He saw that Cobb was just running a little bit wide, not massively wide. You know, Cobb didn't. I wouldn't even say he made a mistake. It wasn't that kind of thing. It was just that John Boy was so ready for that gap on the inside to appear. Knew it was going to be there and went for it. Beautifully done there from him. Potter Brown still leading the race ahead of Mike though, with Doris Steer on the back of this pack. You've got Big Blue and TMW still there with them. Jay and John Boy and Cobb, that trio there still battling over P6. Can they bring the gap down to the leaders and make this an 8-car battle for the lead? That's going to be one to watch over the next couple of laps. But Potter Brown still leading, coming down through to the Foggy S's here. Once again, Big Blue looking close on the back of Doris Steer as well. Oh, as Potter Brown didn't get a good run there through the Foggy S's at all, and Mike's down the inside here, down towards Melbourne. It's down Potter Brown looking to the inside, trying to come back at him straight away as he's going to send one. No, he's going to think better of that one. As in the background, Big Blue down the inside of Doris Steer. Oh, it's this contact there between Mike and Potter Brown. Potter Brown back through on Mike, so he got a better exit there out of Melbourne. But Mike looking back to the inside. Potter Brown covers him off. He's now going to go around the long way as Mike coming through into the final corner, but he can't get the cut back because Doris Steer is right there on the inside. Mike was trying to go for that cut back out of the final corner, but it wasn't to be because Doris was in the exact place where he wanted to be to get the cut back on Potter Brown. And Potter Brown there is still leading this race, but Mike's still challenging on the back of him. Doris Steer with Big Blue, Team MW, and Jay and John Boy and Cobb have now joined this fight for the lead. So this is now an 8-car train battling over the lead here. 2 seconds covering the top 8 here as we're coming towards the closing stages of the first race of the night. What a race this is developing into, as Big Blue's still looking on the back of Doris Steer at the moment as we're riding on board with him here, coming through to the end of the first sector here on lap 7 of the race. But what a battle this is from all of these drivers. Potter Brown still keeping Mike at bay. He's looking all over him, looking to try and find a gap if he can. He can't do it at the moment as Potter Brown a little bit deep there, and Mike's going to seize on that and just manages to give him a bit of a show out of the way as he came through. Mike there now up into the lead as they come through into Coppice. Can Potter Brown go for this cut back here, which we've seen? Obviously the McGann has much better traction than the Astra, but But here we come out onto the back straight once again. Mike's already defending the inside line because Potter Brown got a better run here. Coming out of Coppice, down the straight we come. He's slightly ahead, but Mike's got the inside. Who's going to be coming out on this one in top? And Potter Brown swoops around the outside beautifully there. Back up into the lead of the race. Mike there has to settle for the time being. Doris Steer in third ahead of Team MW. These guys are watching behind it. There's Jay there looking pretty close. John Boy and Cobb battling in the background here as we ride on board with Jay. He's looking down the inside. Is he going to go for the move here? Big Blue. Big Blue, they're keeping it around the outside, and there's a bit of contact there between them. Who's going to be coming out on this one in top? It looks like Big Blue on the inside coming towards the final corner. Will be able to move back ahead of Jay here. Incredible stuff here from these guys. As down the inside goes Big Blue, and he gives Team MW a bit of a tap there as well as he came through. Jay's now going to get the better run down the straight, and I think Jay might be able to get him back here as they come down towards Redgates. No, he's not. Actually, no. Didn't get a good run at all. I don't know what I was imagining there, but no, he's way too far back to make a move into turn one. John Boy actually looking around the outside of Jay here, but goes a bit wide there as John Boy, and he's going to have to live to fight another day with that one. That's not going to happen just there. But Potter Brown, Mike, Doris Steer, and in fact Potter Brown and Mike are now a little way clear of Doris Steer, so Doris Steer's lost them just a tad in the first part of this race, or the first part of this lap. And Jay's still looking all over the back of Big Blue at the moment as they're coming up the hill here in the middle sector of this lap. We're going to have, I think this is going to be, it could be the penultimate lap, it could be the third to last lap. I haven't done the maths. Wasn't looking at the clock as they crossed the line. Oh, no. Oh, Doris Steer there lost it, completely lost it there and spiralled into some of the pack. And oh no, there's carnage. John Boy's been pushed off the track. Big Blue was also involved in that as well. So John Boy there down to 8th place. Doris Steer has actually ended up ahead of John Boy in all of that. Big Blue though caught up big time in that one. Jay's managed to move his way through up into 3rd place, and Team MW as well. Oh, carnage there. In the meantime, back to the leaders. We've got Mike here down the inside of Potter Brown again. These two having a fantastic fight for the race lead. Into Melbourne we go. And Potter Brown there is going to have to hang this one around the outside. He's managed to get a good exit there out of Melbourne. We'll have the inside for the final corner. Mike's going to surely be going for that cutback. He's going to try and put him under pressure into the braking zone. Then he's going to go for the wide exit. And he's going to go for that run out of the final corner. But can he get it here? Let's jump on board with Mike as he's looking to make this move down the start-finish straight. On board with the Astra. He's got no straight line speed compared to that McGann. Potter Brown is saying, see you later, boy. And in towards turn one we go for the final time here in this first race of the night. Potter Brown doing everything he needs to do. What can Mike throw at him here in the final closing stages here? In fact, he's got a good run there coming out of the first corner, but not good enough. Potter Brown once again with that straight line speed with him again has got it absolutely parked there. Jay currently running in the final podium place ahead of Team MW and Cobb. And you got Big Blue a little way behind them in P6. John Boy ahead of Doris Steer with Craig, Aussie completing the top 10. Park Hooper's still going here in this race. We obviously lost who did we lose? It will come to me in a second. Potter Brown though still leading. Mike all over him as they come through the final half a lapper of this race. Who is going to win this opening race of the night? That's the big question here, as Mike there trying to get underneath Potter Brown here if he possibly can. Here we come down towards the Foggy S's once again. Mike just cannot seem to get close enough to Potter Brown here. Through we go. Oh, both of them pushing track limits to the absolute limit there. I think that they were just about one wheel, or at least a part of the wheel on the curve at all times, but it was running it close here. Looking around the outside is Mike. Potter Brown parking it on the inside, saying there's no way around me, sunshine, not in a million years. And Potter Brown's just got to park it on the inside for this final corner. He should be able to see this one out. Mike looking to the outside here. Can he go all the way around the long way? Is he going to go for a cutback? Potter Brown beautifully parks it there on the apex. Says absolutely not. It's not happening, Mike. Not today. Here he comes. Potter Brown to take the win with Mike second. Jay over the line to complete the podium with Cobb over in fourth. It's going to be Team MW for P5. John Boy takes P6 in the end. Had a Big Blue in 7th with Doris Steer over to take 8th place. Craig over in 9th. Aussie 10th. Park Pooper completes the classification in P11. I think it was less than 10 seconds covering the whole field in the end at the checkered flag, I think. Just over 10 seconds covering everybody. So, yeah, what a close race that was. From 1st to 11th, there was 13 seconds. So, yeah, nothing really between them all tonight. Revolt Dieter obviously retired early on after leading the first couple of laps. What a shame there to see that. But that is that for the first race. Check out on Discord because we're going to be going live for the second race very shortly. The link will be up in about 5 minutes.